Hello, scrapbookers. This is Megan. I am back today with my fourth and almost final layout for my For the Love of Homemade Kits series. This is the second round that I am doing with Hannah and Felicia. Okay, so I have this one photo, and it's my two boys with at the time, she was my best friend, and they lived right across the street from us, and life was just fine and dandy. And she had two girls, and our kids played and were best friends. Like, seriously, my youngest at the time, Brennan, and her oldest were the best of friends. They did everything together. They played with each other every single day, and it was just so much fun. So what I am doing is I am using this paper from the Meggy, I think it's Meggy Holmes Shine collection, and I believe it's called Memento. And this is the paper that we use to base our kit off of. And it's got a lot of pinks and yellows and blues and grays, and it's just a really fun paper. But I knew that I wouldn't want to use it just as like a background or a layer because it was just a little too busy for me with all of the numbers. So I decided to cut out all of these numbers. For this layout, I'm going to cut out the numbers 1 through 4. And you can see me do this, and it's so exciting, right? But this works out perfect. I'm so glad that I decided to use this paper this way because I just really love the accents, I guess, the numbers give to each of the layouts that I do. So here I'm just finishing cutting up that number 3, and at first I'm thinking that I could put the 1, 2, 3, 4 just right there above the photo, and then I decide, well, I guess I probably don't want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So here I just set aside the 1, 2, 3, and I put the 4 above the photo, and then I pull out some of these scraps of paper that I already had, and I'm just layering them behind the photo. And for this layout, I made this over NSD weekend, and it was for a Victoria Marie challenge, and it was the recipe challenge by Crafty, who is Christy's Beautiful Life here on YouTube. And she challenged us to use, let's see if I can remember, dimensional embellishment, no gold, which is kind of a funny story, and then 3 pattern papers, and let's see, there's one more thing that I can't remember. Oh, a border strip or a branding strip. So here I am inking the edges. I have let's see, I don't remember what color this is that I'm using. I think it's Sapphire from Close to My Heart. And I'm just gluing those paper layers down and inking the edges as I'm going along. And I really am liking how this is looking, even though that yellow paper on the top and the bottom isn't a full piece of paper. I really like that I can offset it and kind of give it a different feeling on the layout. So here I decided to put down the title, and it's going to be These 4 Kids. And I'm just going to kind of I'm not going to make it a perfect straight line. I'm going to kind of have them askew just a tad, not too much. And then this is where I decide, hey, those numbers 1, 2, 3 look really good up there. So I cut down one of these other scrap pieces of paper, and I'm going to put it right behind the numbers. Here I have this border strip, and I'm thinking, okay, where am I going to incorporate the border strip? And then I had this part of the border strip that was really small, so I'm just going to glue that there and count that as my border strip, or branding strip, whatever you want to call it. And then let's see, here I'm trying to think, oh, maybe I need to include another branding strip. Here I am inking the edges of this paper. and just kind of playing around with those numbers up there. And I decide against using another part of the branding strip. Okay, I'm still fiddling. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of fiddling. So here I pull out that gold bow and then also the washi tape that I had in the kit. So I'm going to use the washi tape here above and below that strip of paper for that embellishment cluster up there. And so I'm just putting those down, and then I'm going to glue down the paper and the numbers. And okay, so the story behind the bow or the gold. So I had already tried doing Christy's challenge once before this layout, but apparently everything these days has gold on it, and everything I wanted to use on the layout that I made before this one for Christy's challenge had gold on it. And I got done with the layout and I was like, oh crap, like I wasn't supposed to use gold. So here I go ahead and I put down the gold bow because I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And I just had completely forgot that I wasn't supposed to use gold. So I'm going to take it off after I finish the layout, but then in the pictures you're going to see that I put it back on because I couldn't do it. I just liked the way that number 2 looked with the silly little gold bow. So sorry, Christy, I completely failed your challenge. Okay, so here I glued down that 3D wood veneer as my 3D embellishment. And now I am inking the edges of the whole layout with the sapphire ink pad. Let's see, what else do I do? I don't do very much more. I actually do put away that little flower embellishment I had on top of the diamond. I pulled out this chipboard piece of the butterfly thinking I could use that. And then I saw this little acetate word that says together. And so I'm going to put that on top of the diamond, as well as this little tag. It's one of those craft tags and it says love on it. And I apologize that my layout is down a little bit so that you can't see that whole cluster. I did not realize that I had done that. Okay, in this kit, we also wanted to challenge ourselves to use some stamps. So here I'm finally on my 4th layout, pulling out my stamps, and I'm going to use one stamp on this layout. And this one says choose happy. And I have this white Studio G ink from Michaels that I'm going to use on the photo and stamp a couple times off of the photo, but I don't really like the way it looks. I just think it's the quality of this ink. If I had a different white ink, I'm sure it would have looked better. So I really need to invest in a better white ink. Okay, so here I'm just putting down some enamel dots with those 2 tags that I glued down there by the diamond wood veneer. And now here I'm putting some more enamel dots up there by that bow and on the number 2. And let's see, what else am I going to do? Oh yes, so there was this acetate piece that had like a little vine floral frame, and then in the middle of it, it said love this day. And I didn't really want the vine part of the frame, so I decided to cut out the words, and I'm just going to glue it down on top of this little tag down there in that cluster right under the photo in the left hand side. And again, I apologize that you cannot see that. Okay, so now here, I don't know what I was doing, pulling off the film, because for some reason there's always film on the acetate pieces. I don't know why. Okay, now I'm going to use that same stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in a few different places in the sapphire color, and I really like that a lot better than just the white, so I'm glad that I decided to do that. Okay, now I'm thinking I need to add a couple more ephemera pieces up here at the top. So I'm pulling some out, and I'm going to use this flower as well as that tag that says this with the arrow on it. And I pulled out this pink flower as well, but then I decided that I don't really like the way that it blends into the background. So now I'm just putting away my stamp, and I think that is pretty much it. I'm just going to glue down that flower, the yellow flower up at the top with that not banner, sorry, I can't talk, with that tag that has the arrow with the word this. And it looks like I'm just cleaning up a little bit, so enjoy that. I think I was I wasn't really sure what else I wanted to do with this layout. And I'm not going to do any journaling on the layout. I don't think there really needs to be anything said. The photo just kind of speaks for itself. These are some cute kids and we love them. So I'm not really going to do any journaling. So here I am inking the edges of these ephemera pieces, and then I'm going to glue them down. I think I'm just going to use my aqua glue. Yep, there we go. Pull out my aqua glue, and that is the end of this layout. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you guys will go on over to Felicia and Hannah's channels as well to see their final layout. And we will be back next month with a new kit, so stay tuned for that. And I will actually have a bonus layout come up later this week, so keep your eyes open for that one as well. Have a great week. Bye.